Hi, friend. Welcome back to my kitchen. If YouTube brought you here, my name is Stacy, and around here I create simple, easy, delicious, affordable meals. Now, if you're new here, you may not realize that I work from home. I'm on the East Coast, and the company that I work for is on the West Coast. So those are Pacific hours. And I have the opportunity every day to make myself a lunch before I go to work. Now, full transparency, I love these real moments with each other, right? I have to tell you, my lunch usually consisted of a sandwich, usually peanut butter and jelly, or nachos. I know, unhealthy choices like a child. It's okay. Just don't judge. We're friends here, right? I was seriously lacking in the protein department, and I knew I needed to make a change. So I bought myself a little present to help with that. Yes, I did. It is a 2-quart mini crock pot. Now, I have 5 yummy recipes for you that you are going to love. Now, these recipes I made, for example, with 1 chicken breast for 1 person. You can easily, in this size crock pot that I just love, you can easily make this for 2 people just by increasing it to 2 chicken breasts. I wouldn't do any more than 2 chicken breasts in this because it is only the 2-quart size. So 1 or 2 people, this crock pot is perfect for. I hope you stick around. Down below is timestamps, and the timestamps will show you each one of those 5 recipes. So you can jump to those timestamps and just get that recipe if you're interested. But what's also below is that subscribe button and that like button. Will you hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already? That's a tongue twister, y'all. Hit that subscribe button, please, if you haven't subscribed already. And be sure to hit that like button because I want to show up in your feed every week. I'm here every week doing simple, easy, delicious, and affordable meals. And I hope you stick around. Now, let's get started with meal number 1. You're gonna love it. It'll be done in 2 hours. Let's get started. Our first recipe is going to be meatball subs. I have frozen meatballs here, but you could definitely do fresh if you want to. But again, this is about getting our lunch ready or our meal for 1 ready quickly. So I have frozen meatballs here. I think I have about 5. And we're gonna need 2 cups of marinara sauce. And then to finish it, we're gonna have a sub roll that we're going to cut and toast and top it with your favorite cheese. This is a Habiardi, I think is how you say it. If I'm not saying it correctly, let me know in the comments. I like provolone, but for some reason my store was out of it. So I just have another creamy, delicious cheese. So let's get started. All we're gonna do is put our meatballs inside the crock pot with our 2 cups of marinara sauce. Super simple, on high for 2 hours. 2 hours later, we have some steamy hot meatballs that are ready to go on our toasted sub rolls with our cheese. Let's test them first. There we go. I think these are ready to go. Give it a quick stir. Remember, these were completely frozen 2 hours ago. 2 hours on high. Can you hear that crunchiness? Yummy. See if we can squeeze this fifth one on. about right there. And a little more sauce. And while the sauce is piping hot, we're going to come in with our cheese. And I think I'm going to put this back under the broiler just for a few minutes, just to melt the cheese a little bit. And 2 minutes later, we have perfection. Let's put this together. Look at that. The cheese is melty. There you have it, our 2-hour lunch with all of the cheesy goodness. Let's eat. Good morning. Can you tell where I'm headed? To a tennis match. And do you know it's 34 degrees outside? I better bundle up, y'all. But before I go, I wanted to start some buffalo chicken for some wraps that I'm going to have for lunchtime. So before I head off to the tennis court, I'm going to put it all together. Let's do this one, y'all. Here's what we're going to need for our buffalo chicken wraps. A chicken breast, 2 tablespoons of butter, ranch seasoning. This is my homemade ranch seasoning. If you don't have the recipe for this one, I'll put it in the description. That video was my last video, and so I'll make sure to link that in the description. We're going to start cooking with these 3 things. Then, after we get back from the tennis match, we're going to add some cream cheese and some Frank's Red Hot after we shred the chicken. This is a really big, thick chicken breast. I'm hoping that it cooks on low for 3 hours and it's completely done. But we'll check it when we get back just to make sure it's up to 165. But we're just going to put this in our crock pot. We're going to top it with the ranch seasoning, about a tablespoon. And I just like to use the inside of the lid kind of as my measure. And we'll just sprinkle this on top of the chicken. And then we'll top it with our 2 tablespoons of butter. Just like this. Pop the lid on, set it to low for 3 hours. And I'll see y'all in a bit. Well, I'm back from my tennis match. Didn't get the win this time. Oh, look, I still have my sweatband on from my tennis match. Didn't get the win this time, but we almost got him in a second set tiebreaker, so we were coming back. I just love tennis, y'all. I hope you have a hobby like my tennis that keeps you as happy and as active as tennis does for me. But what made my tennis loss a little better is knowing that I have this buffalo chicken sandwich to come home to. Well, I guess it's a buffalo chicken wrap, not really a sandwich, right? Now, I did grab a few things out of the fridge. I grabbed romaine lettuce, tomato, and an avocado. So you can add those if you want to or not. But the real question is going to be, is this chicken that has been cooking on low for 3 hours going to be 165 degrees? Let's check it. The answer is yes, it did come up to temperature on low for 3 hours. Let me pick the camera up so I can show it to you. Now remember, it was a little bit of butter in there, and that was all of our liquid. So it looks fantastic. I'm going to take it out and slice it along with our veggies, and we'll put this wrap together. I'm going to pull the chicken out and just let it rest for about 5 minutes or so. See what I mean? How thick that chicken breast was? I'm gonna put that over to the side and we'll make our buffalo sauce. I brought this bowl out because I thought I was gonna make the buffalo sauce in the bowl, but I think I'm gonna save myself some dishes and I'm just going to make the buffalo sauce directly in the crock pot. So we need a 1/4 cup of Franks. So there's our Franks. And we need 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. And that's gonna go directly into our warmed crock pot. I'm just going to use this measuring spoon to kind of mix everything up in here. Let me get you a little closer. And we're just going to wait until that cream cheese kind of melts down a little bit. And we will slice up our chicken and our veggies. Oh, I love it when an avocado is cut open and it's perfect. Isn't that a pretty avocado? I'm only going to use half the avocado on my wrap today, so I'm going to leave this half with the seed in because that helps it not to get brown as quickly. So leave the seed in of the half that you're not going to use for your recipe. And then I have aroma tomato. But again, whatever you like on your wrap is what you're going to put on there. So for me, I like avocado and some slices of tomato. All right, how about we slice up this chicken too? This ginormous chicken breast. Now I'm doing these as slices just so it'll lay easier in my wrap, but you can definitely shred this as well. And I'm going to toss this into my buffalo sauce. This big chicken breast, I think I might have enough to send a wrap to my husband for lunch as well. That almost shredded, didn't it? It's so tender. Again, I'm going to lift you up so you can see inside. And we'll just make sure that all of that chicken is covered in that yummy buffalo sauce. Now we can put our wrap together. We have our tortilla ready to go. We'll just lay a few pieces of romaine lettuce. And really, if you're doing keto, you could just use the lettuce as your wrap. You don't even need to have the tortilla. I did buy tortillas, not wraps, so it's a little small. If you're going to make these as wraps, I would definitely buy the wraps so that you could have room to kind of fold everything over. So, but tortilla is what I have, and you know we keep it simple around here, friend. Alrighty, let's just grab some of this sliced chicken. And remember, you can shred it, you can slice it, whichever you prefer. Oh my goodness, my mouth is watering. How about yours? Some tomatoes. couple of slices of avocado go in here. You could top this with ranch dressing if you wanted to do that. You could put a little cheese in here. Really, the possibilities are endless with this one. It's so easy. So now we'll just wrap this up. And lunch is served. Yum! Good morning. With my coffee this morning, I am preparing beef stew. This one is gonna have to cook on high for 4 hours. So you're gonna need to start this the first thing in the morning. Now, if you work outside the home, or if you're doing this for supper, what I would suggest, so this little crock pot that has become my best friend this week, the crock is removable. So what I would do is the night before, I would put all of this in the crock pot with the lid on, and then I would pull it out when you're having your coffee, let it kind of warm to room temperature, because you're going to want this to heat up gradually. So you're not going to want to cook this on high straight from the fridge, but if you're doing low, it's fine to go from fridge straight to the crock pot stand. But just a little time saver. It really doesn't take a whole lot to put this together though. So we have a 1/4 pound of stew meat. We have a cup of water, 2 cups of beef broth, 4 of these petite potatoes. I like the tri-blend just because I think it adds a little variety and color to your dishes, but any mini potato will work fine. 4 of those, 4 of the baby carrots, and then here is our spice blend. So here we have a 1/2 teaspoon of each one of these. Garlic powder, oh, let me take this bay leaf out. Here we go. A 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, thyme, pepper, and salt. Now, if you've seen my 3 healthy seasoning blends, this is my steak seasoning. So if you've already put the steak seasoning together, then you can just go straight to the steak seasoning. But if not, then these are the spices that you'll need for our beef stew. And a bay leaf, and then a tablespoon of tomato paste. All this gets thrown in our crock pot. We're gonna cook it on high for 4 hours so it's ready at lunchtime. I think I might slice these in half real quick. Isn't that colorful? I love using these colored potatoes. I was gonna try to avoid getting my finger dirty, but I can't stand it. I have to just get in there with it. Your hands are your best tools, friend. There we go. Now we'll put the lid on, set it on high, and I'll see you guys at lunchtime. It's finally lunchtime, friends, and I have been smelling this all morning, and I know that you know that I'm going to say it. I wish YouTube had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. I can't wait to have a bowl. So I'm gonna take the lid off, and you might get it a little steamy, so let's see. Now, this is a very thin broth. If you prefer to have a thicker broth, you can add a little cornstarch slurry to this, and then it will thicken up a little bit. There you go, I already made a mess. Let's just make that go away. You could stretch this to 2 people easily. You could also throw in some frozen peas. But look how tender the potatoes are. The beef is so tender, it just falls apart. Yum! Let's have this hearty lunch, friend. Let's eat. Another day, another tennis match. I know, you're surprised, aren't you? But it's okay because my crock pot is going to cook lunch for me, and I'm so excited. So, wish me luck. I'll let you know how the match goes in a little bit. Here's what we're going to need to put our Tuscan chicken together. 1 chicken breast, a 1/4 cup of chicken broth, 1 garlic clove that's kind of tucked under here under the plate, a tablespoon of sun-dried tomatoes, a tablespoon of artichoke hearts. Again, this is going to be just your taste. So if you like more sun-dried tomatoes, add more. If you like more artichoke hearts, then add more. The rest of this can is going to go into the fridge so that I can use it later on salads or let's see, maybe we'll find another yummy dish. If you have an idea, leave me an artichoke heart dish down in the comments below. I would love to know how to use the rest of these artichoke hearts. And we need a tablespoon of Greek seasoning, but if you don't have Greek seasoning, but you have Italian seasoning in your pantry, Italian seasoning is just fine. Now, at the end of our cooking, we're going to throw in a 1/2 cup of baby spinach after everything is cooked. We're going to cook this on low in the crock pot for 3 hours. I have all of my ingredients all laid out, so we're going to go ahead and start with putting our chicken broth in the bottom of our crock pot. Then we'll put our chicken breast on top of that. Top it with our Greek seasoning, but again, if Italian is what you have, that's fine too. Then our artichoke hearts and sun-dried tomatoes. And our garlic clove. Just going to spread this around just a little bit. We're going to cover this, cook it on low for 3 hours. Well, friend, we didn't get the win, but it's okay. I had a great time. It was super fun. I got to play with one of my longtime partners. So it was great fun. Tough team though. That's okay. We'll get them next time. How about we dive into our lunch, make ourselves feel a little bit better about the loss? And let's taste this Tuscan chicken, y'all. It's the moment of truth. Let's see how this tastes. Oh, look at that. Sorry, fogging you up a little bit. Does that not look delicious? Now, I have some frozen zucchini noodles here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chicken out and let it rest on my cutting board back here and throw these zucchini noodles in here just to defrost and kind of warm a little bit. You could do this over rice or potatoes, and I am making a mess of this beautiful presentation. So we still have all of this liquid inside here. So we're going to put our zucchini noodles in and just let them warm through. You can see it really doesn't take long to warm these up in this hot liquid. Alrighty, let's let our chicken rest. Let this warm up. We're gonna put this off to the side. Bring our chicken down. And go ahead and just slice that. This makes the juiciest, most tender chicken. I'm so surprised. It does such a great job. Okay, I'm gonna grab some zucchini noodles out of the crock pot and then top it with the chicken. We have our sun-dried tomatoes in there. Make a little bed here. Even if it's lunch, it can still be fancy, y'all. And then we're gonna take our chicken breast and set this down. Here we go. Just kind of nestle it in there. Cannot leave all of this flavor on the cutting board. Absolutely not. There we go. Tuscan chicken over zucchini noodles. What a spectacular lunch. It's Friday, friends. We made it through the week. Today is errand day for me. So usually, full disclosure, errand day would mean drive-through Chick-fil-A. But we're trying to do a little bit better. And remember, we have our Crock-Pot friend to help us out, right? So today, I'm gonna have our Crock-Pot friend make us a steak sandwich. Here's what we need. For our steak sandwiches, we will need half a pound of shaved steak. I was really excited when I found this at Kroger. Now this is 14 ounces. We're not gonna use all 14 ounces. We're just gonna use about half of this. So that's still gonna make a nice full sandwich, and we'll have another, basically half pound, to make another sandwich another day if we choose. Our sub roll, we have our Havarti cheese. Again, if I'm not saying that correctly, let me know in the comments. We'll need a half of an onion. I'm gonna use all of this bell pepper because it's tiny. So all of this bell pepper, if you get the really big bell pepper, just a half. A clove of garlic. We're gonna need a teaspoon of steak seasoning. This is the one that I've made, but I wanted to show you what I found on Amazon. This Jack Daniel's steak seasoning, the ingredients are so clean in here. There's no fillers, no added yuck. So this is definitely one that I would recommend. I'll put the link in the comments for the Amazon link so you can get it. Again, really clean ingredients, really simple. We need a teaspoon of that. And we're gonna need a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. I don't say that right either. That's okay too. We're all friends here. And then I just have a squeeze bottle of avocado oil. I'm gonna slice my bun and then oil it with the avocado oil and put it under the broiler. Let's put our sandwich together. I have our peppers and onions diced. I went ahead and pressed the garlic. Now let me know, is it important for you to see me doing the chopping, or do you prefer just to cut it short and have it shown already diced? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments what you prefer. Leave the prep and the chopping in, or just have it already done for you. Either way, you let me know which one you prefer. This is our steak. I have 7 ounces of the steak out, our steak seasoning, and our Worcestershire. And of course, our crock pot, the star of this week. I'm gonna go ahead and put in our onions and peppers in the bottom. And I'm not gonna use any liquid at all with this. There's a little liquid with the Worcestershire, but that's gonna be it. There's our garlic. Now with our steak, we're gonna put the steak seasoning on. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this in the crock pot as well. Might be a little easier. Here we go. So we'll just put all of this into the crock pot. There we go. And I'll move that to the side. Now, we'll have a teaspoon of that steak seasoning. Again, look at how clean that is. That's like we made it ourselves. It's great. And a teaspoon of Worcestershire. And because you know I have to get my hands dirty every time, I'm just gonna put a little bit of that seasoning on all of the steak. We're gonna put a lid on this and cook it on high for 2 hours. So when I'm finished with my errands, it'll be ready to go. If you all use a crock pot, you know how it is such a good feeling to know that you're coming home and your house is going to smell like a yummy cheesesteak sandwich. That's what I'm going through right now. When I open that door and I could smell this, yum, so good. Well, let's eat. I have toasted up my sub roll. Now, you'll probably get fogged up. So let's see if we can do a quick reveal here. I have 2 slices. And I want to put the cheese down so that we can get that hot meat on top of there and start it to melt a little bit. Our steak is cooked. It looks so good. I can't wait to have it. And that 7 ounces cooked down enough for 1 sandwich. Perfect. And then on this side, remember we had no liquid in here at all. So the liquid that's in here is just from our onions and peppers. And we will just add that right on top of that cheese. Now, this is the hard part. You all know I'm a hot mess when it comes to this. So let's see if I can do this okay. We're gonna try to flip our meat. Look at there, yay me. It doesn't take much, friend. But look at that. Yum. All right, so I'm gonna slice it on the diagonal. There we go. Lunch is served. What do you think, friend? Are you gonna love her as much as I do? It's such a huge time saver. Oh, if you saw the timestamp name below, I promised that I would tell you what I named my little kitchen helper, Betty Crockpot. I know, I'm easily amused. It's okay. But Betty and I have had a great time all week long. She has been cooking for me, and I have so enjoyed it. So, if you would like to get your own Betty, I got Betty from Amazon for around $15. So I will link below the Amazon link for the 2-quart mini crock pot. You need it, friends. I'm telling you, delicious chicken breasts in 3 hours. And you can go play tennis and come back, and Betty has made lunch for you. Isn't she thoughtful? I hope you stick around, friend. I know I'm silly, I'm goofy, but you know what? I'll always bring you a delicious meal. So join me next week. I'll be here, and I hope you will be too. Have a fabulous week, friends. Bye. Now we just lay a few of these. Woo! I think I jinxed myself. Did you see me almost spill that onto the floor? Then these are the spices that you'll need for our beef stew. And a bay leaf. And then I just broke my bay leaf, y'all. Did you see that? Hot mess already, first thing this morning.